Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, we are joined by His Lord Slacks, King Trousers, Sir Lederhosen, Dr. Pants, as we look at a new Bumblebee and Spike 2-pack. Shockwave Lab has an upgrade kit for Siege Jetfire, and don't tell Charlene if you want a chance at snagging the newly announced Masterpiece Skids figure. Today is Wednesday, January 6th, 2021, and this is episode 415 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that's fairly certain it's Tuesday. Or is it Sunday? No, it's Friday. Yep, definitely Monday. I'm your host, Charles, a.k.a. Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, a.k.a. Yakko.
What? Oh, we're doing this again? Oh, hey, how you doing?
Scott, the illustrious Dr. Pants.
To heck with what day it is, what year is this?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Oh my goodness. I guess we're going to talk about Transformers some more. Yeah. Let's do that.
As opposed to, you have another topic? you want to change the format of the show for 2021?
Let's just spice it up.
We can talk about The Mandalorian. I'm always up for that.
Give it a rest.
I mean, I'm a little with Jeremy.
I was already on the Mike Cyber radio program this week talking about it on his podcast.
Yeah, you gotta be tired.
Plug.
I don't know how you're not tired about it, doing it yet. Just, come on. What is it, 12 episodes? That's it?
16.
16 episodes. Okay, so 8 a season. It's not that much to talk about.
I mean, there's only 12 episodes of War for Cybertron, and there's been plenty to talk about there.
No, it's not.
Okay. You got me.
All right. Well, as always, we start out the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you so much for your continued support. If you'd like to become a Donatron and you aren't already, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up, either on Patreon or PayPal. And this week we have a brand new Donatron, Trey. And Trey signed up for a whole year.
Awesome.
Thank you, Trey, for your support. And you're just in time because you got in just in time for the Toy Hacks $10 giveaway for December 2020. So that's coming up this episode, and Trey is entered to win. Another way to support us, of course, is to buy merchandise from our TeePublic store, and that's at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And you can also check out our friend K-Girl store at teepublic.com/user/superstark. So if you buy anything from TeePublic through our link, transmissionspodcast.com/shop, that helps out the show. And of course, if you buy our designs, that gives us a little commission as well. So check out our shirt designs, our masks, all our merchandise. All right. As I just mentioned, we have our Toy Hacks $10 giveaway. So we're going to do the drawing for December 2020, the last month of 2020. One lucky listener is going to win a $10 gift code and get some cool labels, stickers from Toy Hacks. We had all our Donatrons entered, as well as 2 email entries from Steve and Daniel. So good luck, everyone. Jeremy, is your assistant ready to help us out?
Computer, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
All right. Can she give us a random number between 1 and 80?
Computer, give me a random number between 1 and 80.
Your random number between 1 and 80 is 56.
Richie.
All right.
So I'm not familiar with this person, but congratulations. They've been a Donatron for a while, so thank you.
Awesome.
Yay, Richie.
Right on.
Make sure you give us some pictures of what you get, the labels you get.
And get Charles to give me your contact information, and I'll get in touch with you.
Awesome. We love Kevin, but I'm just glad it wasn't Kevin Horn again. Congratulations, Richie. And we'll be getting your prize out to you very soon. All right, Jeremy, you mentioned it earlier, but I think we should say it again. You were on Mike Seibert's radio show this week.
Yes, I was. At the time of this recording, I will be, but as the time of it coming out, I was on his live stream that he does on Monday nights, talking about the Mandalorian. I was watching him last week and kind of helped derail the chat a little bit. He was talking about a few Star Wars things, and I just kind of helped with the chat to drag it to the Mandalorian. So he asked me if I could come on, and he's also going to have someone from the Iacon Online convention, because he's also involved in that. Yeah, we're going to have we did have a good discussion on the Mandalorian.
Awesome. So I'm sure by the time you're listening to this, the live stream will have been over, but I'm sure there'll be a link available. So we'll make sure we put that in the show notes so everyone can get a chance to check it out. All right. And lastly, before we get into the toy news, so just want to mention Empire of Rust episode 40, Indecision 3000. And that came out this Monday as well. It's should already be in your feed if you're subscribed to the main Transmissions feed. If not, you can get that at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. So this is the continuing adventures of our live play RPG podcast run by our awesome editor and producer, Mike Ordway. And the bots have been having some really cool adventures. There was a pretty big transition they had a couple episodes ago, and that's continuing in this episode. So check it out and listen to the further adventures. All right, so let's get into toys, the first Transmissions show of the new year.
We got some interesting news that came out earlier on in the week, and I kind of stumbled upon this as a tweet from another Transformers site or Twitter account. There hasn't been any confirmation, but I guess they're saying that it is, like, TFW 2005 is saying it's official, but the way I saw it, I didn't see it as official. But apparently we're getting a Masterpiece Skids in 2021. If that's something that you're looking for, congratulations, Masterpiece Skids is on its way. The way I read the tweet is that it was rumored or kind of coming, but not officially done yet.
Well, they linked to the official, like the Japanese tweet, which is from Takara's official Transformer Twitter account.
Gotcha. All right, so Masterpiece Skids. From the line art that we're getting, this is something that looks pretty cool. I guess Skids is a popular character. I know that we've gotten some third-party Skids in the past. There's one, I can't remember off the top of my head who did it. I want to say like X-Transbots did one that was really good.
It was X-Transbots.
Oh, there you go. Cool. Yeah. It was just a really phenomenal figure. That's going to be the bar that Takara Tomy here is going to have to kind of, hit or surpass. Official is always going to be is always going to default to the one that you're going to want to get, regardless of how good the third party is. But I have to say, like, Skids, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's the character that I would have picked for the next Masterpiece G1 character. I mean, first of all, there's no repaint potential here. Just off the top of my head, I would have easily picked Hoist and Trailbreaker as the next one. Maybe they have trouble with the licensing for the truck. I think it's a General Motors vehicle for Hoist and Trailbreaker, but might be a Nissan actually. But this Skids vehicle is one that is probably easier to get because I believe it is a Japanese design. Anyway, I'm more curious as to how they're going to pull this off and what they're going to do with it. And then the next one is going to be the price, because Masterpiece right now is just crazy priced. Let's start the ball rolling with some discussion on it. Scott, Dr. Pants, what are your thoughts on Masterpiece Skids? Is it a viable character? And, are you interested in it?
I don't know if it's a viable character. There's a market out there for it. I'm sure someone wants this. Masterpiece collectors are going to want it for their collection. My G1 cartoon knowledge is not up to snuff, so I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head how important Skids was in the G1 cartoon, like how often he appeared.
Not very.
Not very.
I mean,
yeah, I didn't think so.
Less than 30 seconds in the entire run.
Oh, well then. I'm not going to pick this up, but that's because originally with the Masterpiece Carbots, I was kind of in. I own a couple of them, but as of late, the price has gotten pretty crazy, and I can't quite afford it because, in all honesty, I'm expecting this thing to be at the minimum, probably 150. It'll probably be closer to 200.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, the MP Bumblebee, the new one was, 120, 130?
Yeah.
So this will be really pricey. As far as repaint potential, I mean, couldn't they do, is it crosscut? Isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and I mean, that's a vague character, but they've done that before, because, I mean, we've gotten all the Diaclone repaints and whatnot, so I wouldn't put it past them to repaint it as crosscut and sell that, but, I mean, other than that, that's what you're going to get. It's cool they're doing it. I'm really happy to see them branch out from all the other characters that are pretty normal. Because, I mean, we always get that main, like, G1 Season 1 and 2 cast that everyone expects, and I've been hoping they would branch out a little bit. Now, personally, I'd rather see them go to, like, Season 3 or Season 4, or even do something from the Japanese series, do more of that. But this is, I think, a step in the nice direction. But I'll just wait and see what happens with it. But it's not for me. I'm not an MP collector anymore. I'm happy for anybody who is, and I look forward to seeing what this looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. I'd forgotten completely about Crosscut, and it reminded me, I think there is a Diaclone version of this G1 figure that's in black, so that would probably get some kind of repaint as well. Charles, you drive around in a very small little blue vehicle. Is that what you are hoping for when this is all said and done, that your car will turn into a Skids? Because it won't, I'm sorry to tell you. But you could still buy this and be okay with it.
I have nothing to say. I don't know. You just took it in a really weird direction. Anyway, I mean, Skids is fine. This still leaves me wondering, what about Jazz? I mean, every year it seems like people are asking for Jazz. I mean, at least, we get our little survey. Jazz is one of the most highly requested Masterpiece figures. I mean, I guess our survey is not getting back to Takara Tomy in Japan, but
whose job was that?
I still have to hit my Japanese Duolingo. It's improving, but it's not there yet. I would think Jazz would be the more popular choice, but I mean, again, there might be licensing issues with the car model, since that's a Porsche, and Volkswagen now owns Porsche, so they seem to be prickly with their licensing issues with the cars for Transformers, the whole Bumblebee thing going back and forth. So maybe that's an issue, but I think Jazz also doesn't have a lot of repaint potential other than, I guess, Stepper or Ricochet and maybe a Diaclone variant or something.
Or G2.
The G2, that's true, yeah. Skids would not be my first choice. I probably will not pick this one up. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Dr. Pants. The price will probably be super high. I hope it's not up to 200. I'm going to guess 150 around that area.
Or whatever Hound was.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember what Hound was, but probably about the same, yeah. He was not big in the cartoon. He was in like one episode, maybe 2 episodes. But I do remember him in the comic. He got a couple of spotlight issues in the comic, which I thought were really good. He got that super sexy issue with the girl. He became the girl's car, Charlene, and she was like, giving him, washing him and soaping him up with water, and it was quite exciting that he was getting a personal car wash from this hot lady.
She polished his head lights.
Yeah. Something like that.
I was going to say, what vehicle is Skids? Like, what's the make and model? I forget. Does anybody remember off the top of their head?
It's an obscure Japanese car that actually, when you bought the car, came with a little scooter.
I knew it came with the scooter.
It's a Honda City R.
Okay. I was going to say that might be part of the reason they picked it is because it is I knew it was a popular Japanese car, but I couldn't think of what it was. So I'm wondering if that's why they did it, because it's such like it was like an iconic vehicle in the 80s in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the front of the robot mode, you can kind of see the Honda logo there in like the front grille.
Oh yeah.
Now, Jeremy, Charles did mention that it was a popular, or it did get some page time in the Marvel comic. Are you planning on getting this and cosplaying as Jake Dalrymple with your Skids toy?
No, I don't think I can outdo your Jake Dalrymple costume from years ago, so I'm not even going to try. I think this is an interesting idea. I'm wondering though, do you think this might have like some engineering reuse in other molds where maybe they're not going to be able to do like more than a repaint or two, but they can use some of the bits and pieces for some of the other kind of, I don't know, hatchback SUV type vehicles, like the hoist and stuff like that.
I don't know. The back of the car is very obviously the legs here.
Yeah. I mean, this seems like it's a very squat car.
It is
not very long.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, the torso is a very good representation of most of the early G1 figures. Right, the arms come down from underneath the hood, the head pops up out of the hood there, and the doors kind of swing out as wings, and it's the legs that are kind of different. They're not exactly the same. I mean, it's kind of close to Jazz if you actually talk about it. And you look at it there as a example. There's a little bit of Jazz that could be in there, but you'd have to really kind of squint to make this thing into Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering if maybe they're able to use this to work out some engineering problems for some other figures that they have in the pipeline.
It's possible, I guess.
But, I mean, Skids as a character, I mean, he got some play in IDW, I think. There's no huge attachment to him, but, I mean, it's always been an interesting figure, and I wonder if this does come with the scooter. Probably not, but I think that would be neat if maybe even they took one of his weapons and had it transform into a scooter.
I think the X-Transbots one came with the scooter.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
And the IDW Skids, he's really a different character. I mean, he's not his design is not really G1 Skids. It's more, Alex Milne designed them specifically for More Than Meets the Eye, and you can get that Generations version of Skids from a few years ago. I think that's more in line with the IDW version.
Well, we're going to keep an eye on this. Obviously, it's Masterpiece. It's pretty big news in the world of Transformers. So we'll kind of keep you posted on to what's happening with that. But that's all I've got for this week, guys. Jeremy, what do you have for us?
Well, the first thing I have is an upgrade kit from Shockwave Lab. Unlike their recent kits, this does not appear to have any LEDs, but it is SL98, a missile upgrade kit for Siege Jetfire. And it's kind of neat. It comes with like a backpack and then 6 bendable cables and 6 missiles to go on the end of the cables. So, like if you remember in the Netflix series, he has these like missiles he just kind of launches. And this kind of just gives that effect. Like he's got multiple missiles coming out. I looked it up. It's on eBay on their store for $17.55. I think it's probably not that bad of a price. I wouldn't want to pay much more than $20 for it, but I think they're doing some really interesting kits that can add on just, I don't know, display or play value for these characters. So, Charles, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this? Would you get it for your Jetfire?
I guess if I had Jetfire. It's a cool idea. I mean, it's nice for setting up like a diorama if you were, if you're doing something like that. It's I'm not the person setting up dioramas, so I guess for me, it's not something I would get. But
until you get Unicron.
Yeah, that's true.
Unicron is a diorama.
But I mean, this is something I could see like our friend Dogcade's using in his little setup places. He's got that arc thing set up where he could pose a lot of figures, and this would be something for like a cool battle scene. So yeah, I mean, it's always nice to see some little accessories that make your figure, make your figure a little bit more dynamic. So, and I like the idea of being able to position the missiles any way you want. And then, you can do your photography and then digitally remove the little bendy lines. And then you've got, some cool, a cool action shot.
Yeah, just paint them green so it's easier to remove.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Scott, what are your thoughts on this?
This is really, really cool. This reminds me of like certain extra kits you can get for like Gundam models and whatnot. And they usually run about $20, $25. So the price isn't bad. And I love this kind of stuff. Being able to, show some projectiles in motion coming off the character like that. The thing that really gets me is the fact that it's bendable wires. A lot of times I see stuff like this. It'll be like plastic arms that are hinged. So the bendable wires make it even more dynamic and offer some really, really cool posing. I love the way the missiles are colored, and you've got that kind of translucent orange in the back to show they're actually flying. The whole thing looks really, really cool. I don't know if I would get it or not because I'm also not a diorama person. I mean, down the road, maybe I would be, but for right now, this is cool for anybody who wants it, but I'm probably going to take a pass on it. It is cool, though.
All right, and Daryl, what do you think?
I think it's a really interesting kit. These guys at Shockwave Lab have really, hit the nail on the head with their kind of business model here. They make small kits, they cost small amounts of money, and they just keep pumping out the kits. What is this? The 98th kit? Holy smokes. Like, that's crazy. So, I mean, you get what you want. Like, I mean, it's less than $20, 6 missiles, 6 cables, and a backpack. It's not a whole ton of stuff. And, these guys are going to make a little bit of cash off of the kits. It's the backpack looks to be 3D printed, right?
Yeah. I think the whole thing is, or on here it says it's mass production 3D printing.
Yeah. So there's not a lot here that you can really have go wrong, right? I mean, it's a really great little kit. If this is something that you think is cool, fantastic. Buy one. If you don't, who cares? They don't care. It's a really small kit, and if they don't need to sell one, they're not going to make one to sell. They're not going to have an issue with having a whole bunch of backstock. So this Shockwave Lab company has really kind of found a nice little niche for them to kind of sit in.
I like that they're not trying to do too much. They're doing these, like you said, they're small, focused on a single character. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to put out like one thing that has like 8 characters and you might have, half of them.
Yeah. Once you see a Shockwave Lab, like an entire figure, you know that they're stretching. If they stick in their lane and they just keep putting out kits for, I think that all they are doing as well is all mainline stuff. I don't think I remember seeing them put out anything for a third party figure yet. So it's just mainline stuff, add-on kits, and just keep them coming,
And they're not doing anything that gets them in trouble with Hasbro.
No, Hasbro, I think if I remember correctly, Hasbro loves the add-on kits for their figures.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I have one more thing here, and this is a third-party figure from TFC Toys. It's their STC-02 Dominator Megatron. And this is a great prototype, and the figure, this says it's based off of Don Figueroa concept art for a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover. It's a triple changer that can go between a tank and a helicopter, and then just a really beefy-looking Megatron. And I don't know, I just thought this was interesting. I hadn't seen it before. I don't know if the crossover ever came out, because I don't remember it, but the robot mode is, I think, the most compelling out of all of it, because the helicopter and the tank mode, you're seeing, I don't know, it just the transformations just seem to have lots of gaps and doesn't really look convincing. But I don't know, it seemed interesting. And they have that Optimus Prime that came out a year or two ago that has like the big phallic missile.
You can say it.
Likes.
You can say it.
But anyway, I think this goes along with that. So, Daryl, I guess we'll start with you. What do you think of this Megatron?
First of all, it's a partner figure for the Dildo Prime, and it's called Dominator Megatron. Like, is nobody else seeing this? Come on. I can't be the only one that sees this. But you're right. This thing is a beast. I love it. He's absolutely massive. He did not skip leg day at all. It's just his legs are just the chunkiest chunk I've ever seen. And I mean, if this guy is not the epitome of TFC designs, I don't know what is. He is just so bulky, but I kind of love it. I guess, I mean, it's just, he's huge. He's massive, and he's kind of one of those figures that, regardless of kind of how the individual components look on their own, when they're all stacked on top of each other and kind of forming this massive insanity that is this Megatron figure, he just looks incredible. And I don't even want to speculate as to how much this thing's going to be. It's probably going to be close to $300. Who knows, really? I mean, it just looks amazing. The cannon on his shoulder, I love that kind of shit. This thing just is incredible. And I'm really, I don't know, there's no way in hell I'm buying this thing, but I love it when the companies kind of just go full nutso and just decide we're just going to do it. Like, who gives a shit? We're just going nuts on this thing, and let's, go crazy. And they went nuts. I love it.
Awesome. Scott, what do you think?
I absolutely love it. Of course, I also love the Optimus Prime they did. I love that design. I thought it was really cool. The thing that I keep coming back to is I also love the cannon on the shoulder there. That's got like this kind of railgun thing with the gaps in the barrel. And the fact that that's the helicopter blade, that's such a cool implementation for the transformation. Also, I flipped through the pictures multiple times, and I'm just noticing it now that there are 2 different tank modes for it, depending on if he's got all the extra armor on him and whatnot, because apparently there's 2 different robot modes, too, of him wearing the armor and not wearing it. So...
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
I had to flip through it a bunch of times, but the one picture shows him in the glass case. There's 2 different tank modes, and that one huge bottom left tank mode just looks so intimidating and awesome, and this figure looks just... Oh, it looks insane. And I'm really glad TFC is still doing stuff, because I have some of their stuff, and it's not bad, but it's also older, so this is probably better quality. I don't know if I would get it. It might be one of those things that if I'm at a convention, God willing, in the future, if I saw it, I might pick it up if it isn't too bad of a price, but we'll just have to wait and see.
And Charles, what do you think of this?
Scott took all my answer. Okay. No, I mean, I definitely agree. Everything that Scott said, the gun being the helicopter blades, the multiple tank modes, I guess it's armor version versus no armor version for Megatron. Yeah, it's a really cool. It's got a lot of cool ideas in this figure. And I'm curious to see how it'll turn out when it's painted up. I don't think the G.I. Joe crossover that this is based on ever came out. So I think this stayed as a concept art. I mean, I think Don Figueroa did a lot of, like, he had a website and he did a lot of, like, when he was a fan artist, he did a lot of concept art and stuff that I think a lot of people saw and thought was cool. And, Don was one of those artists who could really design figures that both modes would transform, and you could see how the transformation would take place, and it'd be enough for a toy designer to work off of. So I can see how people getting access to his concept art would then turn it into something like this. But yeah, I mean, this is it's a very dynamic figure. It's something, I think it's something unique and very interesting, especially the way the gun and the helicopter blades are designed and everything. And then the I guess quadruple changer aspect or triple changer with armor, I guess. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm probably not going to pick it up, but I think if this is the style of figure you like, it might be something to pick up.
Well, that is all I got this week. Scott, what do you have?
I am super excited to talk about Moon Studios' Radiatron again, because I think I talked about one other time I was on here. But Moon Studio, we talked about it a while ago, where they are putting out basically an MP scaled Raiden, which is the train combiner that showed up in the Headmasters cartoon. And what we've got here is we've got some render images of the combine mode, each individual figure then and component, the train mode, the robot mode, and they're all up for pre-order on BBTS. They're up there. They're all $109.99 a piece. And what we've got here is we've also got names for them. They've got Dark Knight, Iceland, Iron Arm, Moonshine, Green Zone, and Cook Peak. That last one's really weird, but I'm sure there's a reference to something.
Cool Peak.
Is it Cool Peak? Because on the TF Formers website I'm looking at, it says Cook Peak. That would make way more sense if it was Cool Peak.
On the Big Bad pre-order site, it says Cool Peak.
I see that. That's better. Good. Good. Thank you. So, they are up for pre-order. They're not all coming out at once. They're spread out over some time. I think the first ones are coming out this summer. There's a couple coming out in December then. But this looks really, really cool. I love these third-party combiners and what they do with these. The individual bot modes look really cool and chunky and G1-y. The train modes look good. The train modes look like each one comes with its own little piece of track. And then the trains can all connect on the track. And just, it looks stunning. And I can't wait to see what this thing looks like all colored up. It is weird because there was a rumor of a Masterpiece ride-in or something a few months ago from Takara, but
it wasn't a rumor. They announced it.
Oh, did they? But I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be an MP Raiden or if it was just like something with Raiden.
They haven't shown anything yet. They said like it was coinciding with some Japanese event commemorating trains or something, but they're definitely working on a ride. And I think they did say it was going to be a Masterpiece Raiden, but it was some kind of Raiden figure. That. Yeah.
Okay. Either way, cool. More trains. We don't get enough. We don't get enough train transformers here in the States. I am super pumped for it, and I am unashamed to admit that I pre-ordered all 6 of these.
Oh my!
Well, I mean, the first one comes out this summer. I'll check it out, and if it's terrible, I'll cancel all the pre-orders. But I wanted to jump on it. With that in mind, Jeremy, you like Transformers and trains. You've got the Transformers train set, don't you?
I do.
So what do you think of some Masterpiece scale trains?
I like it. I think I mentioned this the last time we talked about these. I know it's not going to come out in just this like black and white color scheme, but I really like it. So I wish that they would do a recolor at some point with just, the lines and stuff darkened so it would look just like this, just a plain, black and white. Because I think the trains look really, really cool like that. But I think this is really interesting. I don't even know if I had the RID 2001 train bots. I don't think I did. But I've always found the train bot combiners fascinating, but I've never actually owned them. I probably won't own this either at $100 a bot, but I think it looks really cool. And very G1 in the blockiness.
Cool. I never owned the RID train bots either, and I always wanted to, so maybe this is me making up for it.
Yeah.
Daryl, what do you think of these? Are you going to spend the money?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, I'm going to be the guy who calls it Raiden, because that's how I was told it was pronounced. But I think it looks phenomenal in its combined mode. And I really like train bots. I do have Rail Racer from 2001. And it's a cool 3-bot combiner. Probably the best 3-bot combiner.
Well, the build team one was kind of horrible.
And it's 4 bots. But, yeah.
Wow.
The train, like the alternate modes, the trains look phenomenal. And they all look fun, and I like the fact that they come with their own piece of track. I think that's a very fun little aspect to have for these things. But the robot modes for these guys really look boring. So I mean, I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, do I spend $110 a piece? It's a lot of money. They look phenomenal combined. Will I ever actually, have them in robot mode? But that robot mode just kind of looks boring on every single one of them. So I don't know. I mean, I'm on the fence right now. Like, it's expensive. My wife will, attest to the fact that we have a baby coming, and this is not something that I should be thinking to spending money on. And she's probably right. But it's Raiden, and he looks awesome. I don't know right now. I do want to see it in color, like Jeremy said. We haven't yet to see it in any kind of color. And I have to imagine that it's going to look good. And I have a feeling that this was a Zeta Toys design.
I'm with you on that. I think so, too.
Yeah, I seem to remember it being a Zeta Toys design, and they did a similar thing that they did with the Unicron, and they just kind of shipped it off to another, some kind of weird named company that they kind of, know, and they, or they made something brand new up that if they got sued, then they could just kind of close the company instead of losing Zeta. So it looked great. It looks great either way. So who knows? But I am still convinced that there is something coming out from Takara Tomy this year.
The only thing is, with the way Takara does their Masterpiece stuff, it might end up being more expensive than this.
Sure, and the way that they do their stuff is, I would expect them to release it as a kit, like a one whole gift set.
Yeah,
cost you $1,000.
And on the note of it being Zeta, that might also explain a little bit why the robot modes look the way they do, because I think Zeta has always done their robot modes as kind of like the third mode that's always the weakest. They always do a really good combined mode and always a really good alt mode, but the individual bot modes are always kind of plain. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could very well be Zeta. But, Charles, you've already spent $600 on Unicron. Why not spend $600 on a train combiner? You're down for that, right?
Sure, why not? Yeah, this is cool, but yeah, the price is, it's a little bit spicy. I mean, it is spread out over, I guess, probably a couple of years, depending on how frequent these things come out. So, I mean, I guess that makes it a little bit easier to swallow. And the combined mode does look really good. I think the robot modes look for a train is not that, for a vehicle that's pretty much just a box, or like a box with a cone head, for the bullet train. They do an okay job with the robot modes, so I'm not disappointed with the robot modes, given the lack of flexibility for the train modes, and the combined mode looks really nice as well. So it's a really, I mean, if you're into the train bots, this is a good choice, I think. Although, yeah, I mean, I would definitely wait to see what Takara Tomy is putting out, to see what the official Raiden is going to look like. And Daryl, it's okay to correct your pronunciation. If you learn that you're pronouncing something wrong, you can always change how you pronounce things. You don't have to say decals all the time. You can say decals now that you've learned that that's not correct.
Am I wrong, Charles? Am I wrong?
Yes, you are. The Japanese people say it's Raiden, so I'm going to listen to them. It's a word in their language, so I'm gonna stick with their pronunciation. It's like Ninja Gaiden, When I was a kid, I thought it was Ninja. Yeah, that when I was a kid, I thought it was Ninja Gaiden. But when you learn that it's actually Gaiden, you can change. It's okay.
I haven't. Charles, what takes you to a hospital?
An emergency vehicle.
I will pronounce it the way I want.
Before I wrap this up, I will bring it up. I just clicked on all of them to double check the release dates. 2 of them are scheduled for July 2021, 2 are scheduled for October 2021, and 2 are scheduled for December 2021. So they should all be out before the end of this year.
Okay.
I love it when a company releases something in the month of Christmas, especially 2 of something.
I don't know if that's sarcasm or not.
It's very sarcasm-y.
Okay. Because to me, I'm just thinking, ooh, Merry Christmas to me. I get presents from myself.
It just means that you bought your own present and put your wife's name on it.
That's right.
There you go. Anyway, that's all from me. So, Charles, what do you have for us today?
All right. Well, I have 2 things. The first thing is something that I just thought was interesting because I don't think we had talked about it before. Maybe we had seen a listing, but I don't think we had seen pictures of it before. But it goes back to this buzzworthy Bumblebee line that we were talking about a couple weeks ago. And there's actually a new mold coming out, and this is a 2-pack Bumblebee and Spike. And it's interesting because it's definitely, I mean, it feels like this is something that should go in their Studio Series 86 line because it's, you know, Bumblebee and Spike in his exosuit. The robot mode for Bumblebee looks okay, but that car mode, I mean, it's not, of course, it's not a Volkswagen Beetle, I guess, because of, you know, Volkswagen, I guess, ended their licensing agreement with Takara Tomy and Hasbro. So the car mode just looks a little not great. I'll just say it's I mean, it's a small figure. It looks kind of like a penny racer. So, but I don't know. The shape of the car just, I don't like it. And Spike the exosuit looks okay. Just the fact though that in the, you know, the helmet where you're supposed to see a human head inside the, you know, a little glass dome, it's all completely solid gray or silver, so you don't see it. So it just looks weird where you don't see the person's head inside the exosuit. So, and the transformation is just him lying down, I guess, which I guess is kind of accurate to the movie Exosuit. But I just thought it was interesting to see this you know, this figure go into this buzzworthy Bumblebee line when I thought, I mean, it looks like it should go with the Studio Series 86 line. Maybe it will eventually. I mean, all the buzzworthy Bumblebee lines were coming from other you know, taken from other lines, re-releases of other lines, except for this one. So yeah, weird. I mean, so Daryl, any thoughts on this weird little figure popping up? Do you remember us getting any information about this from before?
I don't. It seems like it's kind of come out of nowhere, and that's cool. I like it when something kind of slips by everybody and just kind of shows up on the shelves. It's a nice little surprise. To your comments on the vehicle, it's a shit vehicle mode. It actually kind of works more as like a bumble jumper than a Bumblebee because of that flat front end on it. If they had made this into like a bumble jumper, then it would have been fantastic. Although then the exosuit would have made no sense at all. It's a small little Bumblebee. The robot mode doesn't look half bad. I'll give it to them for something this size. Yeah, I don't know what the regular retail is on it. It can't be much. I mean, it's a 2-pack, so I don't know, maybe $10, $15 here in Canada. I don't know what it's going to cost, but it's not going to be much. But it's you know, sure, if you can find it, it's probably a decent little pickup for your for the scale junkies out there on the 86 line. Yeah, I think it looks pretty decent. He's got his own gun. I mean, shit, that's pretty good for a small little figure like this.
Cool. Dr. Pants, what do you think of this guy?
I'm not a big Bumblebee fan, so this is a pass for me. I actually saw this a few weeks ago. So I saw it on a single tweet. Somebody showed off the package, like right from the front, white background, and I remember seeing a couple of comments saying this looks fake because you had the background art was like the totally G1 Bumblebee, and then you had the evergreen picture of Bumblebee there, but then the figure looks so different and it just didn't look right. So I kind of just like let it pass. But then when the other buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff came out, it's like, oh, maybe this is real. So apparently it is. I think the Bumblebee is adorable, and I know it's not his normal alt mode, but something about it just makes me think that's really, really kind of cool. I mean, yeah, it's not his alt mode, but still. The Spike, it just lies down. That's so dumb. I wish it did something else. And I wish that his helmet just wasn't silver. It doesn't, like, that could be Spike, it could be Daniel, it could just be an empty exosuit. Who knows? None of this stuff is for me. I'm not a big Bumblebee fan, so the buzzworthy Bumblebee line is not something I'm looking forward to at all. I will say I did a quick look, because with the buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff coming out, I looked up to see if this was available anywhere. And when I Googled it, a lot of the prices for the buzzworthy Bumblebee set are ranging between $20 and $25, this one that we're talking about.
That's a little high for something like this.
Yeah, that's definitely... If that's what the price is, that's definitely a no. And also, all the other ones are movie toys, and this package up at the top, it says War for Cybertron Trilogy.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with this line, but if anybody's a Bumblebee fan, cool. Have fun with it. It looks adorable, but I'm passing on that.
All right, Jeremy, you have the last word on this figure.
As someone with a 6-year-old, I think this is perfect for him. And I think that's what the core class is really aimed for, is young kids. He's not going to be as picky about the vehicle mode as the rest of us are. But I agree, it does look like one of those, like a Bumble Jumper Penny Racer type of vehicle. The exosuit is not good, in my opinion. I mean, again, it's probably fine for the kids. I don't know why they are doing these like faceless exosuits now, but you know, it's a neat add-on. I mean, a scene from the movie, like it would fit thematically with the Studio Series line, but not like on the figure quality level, obviously. But I will probably look for this, you know, for my kid, get it for him. I think he would love it.
Yeah, I mean, and this makes me think this is going to be the same exosuit figure that's going to come with that Snarl. Like we had the listing of Snarl and Daniel. I'm guessing this will be a similar exosuit figure going with that Snarl figure, whatever that is. If that is a Snarl Dinobot, I mean, we still don't know what that listing was supposed to be. But
well, I mean, let's get one thing straight. This exosuit's fantastic.
Fantastically bricked. Oh boy.
That's all.
just think about what you want to do before you do it, Daryl.
Yeah, I hope Mike leaves that awkward silence in.
All right, I have one more topic. I have one more topic, and this is more just showing what's coming up for Kingdom, because we've got listings. Toy listings are our great source of showing us what's coming up for the next waves of figures. I don't think there's any big surprises here, because we did have that massive artwork that showed all the figures from Kingdom, and this is just really confirming that all those characters are really going to come in this line. So this toy listing confirms a bunch of things. We've got core class figures. We've got Soundwave, so another kind of mini Soundwave version, and then another core class figure called Dracodon or Dracodon. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's another fossilizer character. Then we've got Deluxe Class Scorponok, which would be a Beast Wars Scorponok, I believe. And then a Deluxe Class Wheeljack, a Deluxe Class Wingfinger, Deluxe Trax, a Shadow Panther, which will probably just be a repaint of Cheetor, Pipes, which will be a repaint of Huffer, Slammer, which I guess is that little tank from Metroplex. So if you've got a Thrilling 30 Metroplex hanging around, you can accessorize them with this little Slammer tank. Waspinator, another Beast Wars character, and then Voyager class Rhinox and Tigatron, and then a Leader class Galvatron. Yeah, looking forward to lots of these figures. Good mix of Beast Wars and G1. G1 sprinkled in there with Galvatron, Pipes, Trax, and Wheeljack and Soundwave. So, Dr. Pants, what do you think of this lineup for the upcoming Kingdom figures?
I think for this year I shouldn't have pre-ordered all the train bots, because I see where my money's going to go. While I'm probably not really going to get the core class figures of the normal G1 characters, except for maybe Soundwave, because I have an addiction to Soundwave. Everything else I'm probably going to get. I'll definitely get the Scorponok. I had the old Beast Wars Scorponok figure as a kid. I remember wanting it so bad for Christmas one year, so definitely. I'll probably skip Wheeljack. Actually, Alpha Magnus on the Discord is getting me an Earthrise Wheeljack, so shout out to him for helping me with that. I don't know what Wingfinger is.
Is that me neither.
I was going to say, that might just be another fossilizer, I would assume then. Maybe based on a pterodactyl mold or something. But everything else, yeah, I'm down for. I love Beast Wars, and seeing this come back is just hitting me in the right spot, and I'll pick up Galvatron too, because I love the 86 movie, and this was the year for me. This is the year for me to go bankrupt. So I am down.
Cool. Daryl, I'm sure half of these figures are for you.
Well, this must be the junk capital of the universe.
I knew it. I was waiting for it.
There are some figures I'm picking and choosing through this line. The core class, I think I'm skipping completely. The deluxe Voyagers and Leaders is I'm going for the G1 guys. I like the original, some of the original Beast Wars toys. Those are the ones in which I am buying. There are a couple of the ones from the Kingdom line that I'm picking up, just because they're iconic characters and, the toys look cool, but like 90% of them I'm skipping just because I have no connection to them and I really just don't like the way that they look in alternate mode or in robot mode or whatever. So yeah, you can count me in for most of the G1 guys here.
Fair enough. And Jeremy will be picking up the other half of these figures.
Likely at least a few. I'm interested in a lot of the Beast Wars characters. Waspinator, I'm sure I will try to pick up. Shadow Panther, probably not. I'd probably go for a Cheetor. Galvatron, I'll be probably looking at. I'm really excited to see what Kingdom is. I haven't actually seen Wave 1 in person. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing with the engineering on these Beast figures.
All right. Well, that's all our individual toy topics, but we will finish up the toy section with some rapid fire.
Absolutely, positively, definitely. Nobody can get the job done faster than I can. Nobody.
All right. And we haven't had any discussion about toy hacks in a long time, other than, giving away $10 gift codes every month. But we got some news as a part, from them as regards to some sticker sets that they're doing. And we got 4 new sets that they're doing, and they should be available right now if you want to go over to Toy Hacks and take a look. So if you picked up that Dead Prime, the alternate universe Optimus Prime, you can get a set for him to make him look a little bit more alive. And this is one for you, Jeremy, because I know you got them. So you can take a look at this set here and see all the cool stickers that you can put onto that Optimus and kind of change him up a bit, add some life to that figure. Give him a Dark Awakening. Yeah, there you go. So he looks pretty good. There's a bunch of stickers in that set, and yeah, so it looks good. It's got some stickers for the trailer as well. And speaking of trailers, there's a new set for the Studio Series Optimus Prime trailer. Just the trailer. And this one here is a fairly big set. I didn't think there was this many things on it. And then I remembered it's because the set turns into that weapons storage thingamabobber. So, yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff to do on the inside of that trailer as well. So, yeah, take a look at that, and you can see that there's a ton of stuff you can do with that trailer on the Studio Series Optimus. Up next is Hot Link. So if you picked up Hot Link and you wanted to make them look a little bit more like the rest of your Seekers, especially if you've got the add-on from Toy Hacks before to give them the rest of the Seekers the little peak on the top there to make them look more like the Tetrajets, this is that set. So if you got Hot Link, then you can get that peak on the top there to make them a little bit more Tetrajetty, and a bunch of stickers for them as well to do that. Plus, this set also comes with stickers for the Target Masters that he comes with. And lastly, we've got one more set, and it is for the Jinbao oversized Constructicons. These are the ones that are the oversized versions of the Gravity Builder from Generation Toy. These things this is a big freaking set. This is 6 bots. And it gives you stickers for all 6 bots, plus the combined mode. Lots and lots of stuff to take a look at here. Yeah, it's a $30 set, but it gives you a shit ton of stickers. So take a look at that if you've got that big freaking guy. I know I have the, it's not oversized, mine's the NKX or something like that, or whatever the one is. That's the same size as the Gravity Builder, and it's still a big freaking guy. So, yeah, it's a cool combiner, and I'm tossing around the idea of trying to find the Jinbao one now, so... Yeah, but anyway, those are some of the new things that are coming out from Toy Hacks, and yeah, hopefully we'll get a few more new items from them in the next couple of weeks.
All right, and again, congratulations to our Toy Hacks winner, Richie. So maybe there are some sets here that you can use your $10 gift code for.
Right on.
All right, well, that's all our toy talk, so let's move on to trips to the store. This is where we show off all the cool Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video, so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition on YouTube. And then we'll also put the audio right here in the podcast so you can listen to us describe everything in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, well, let's start off and show off the stuff we got. So, Jeremy, we're going to start with you.
All right. I just got one thing, and this was a before Christmas thing that came in. It was, I think, a summer pre-order that I had forgotten about, which it happened a few times. This is a Decepticon Sandstorm, which... I won't focus, but it's a Voyager class. It's the Seeker Conehead mold.
Nice.
I haven't been having to seek out, any of the Coneheads in the stores because I had this guy, and it's fulfilling my desire for the mold. I like it. The camouflage on it. I mean, it's got that kind of desert storm type camouflage. But I like how the nose cone has this like mouth painted on it. It's on both sides, and I always liked the planes that had stuff like that on them. You can see the Decepticon logo actually fits in with the camouflage coloring, so it's nice touch. So it's cool. I haven't messed with it too much because I forgot about it and opened it tonight. It feels really good. I know the Seekers have gotten a lot of praise online, so I'm looking forward to really kind of getting into it and just seeing how well the jet mode is, and yeah, I think it looks great. That is all I got.
All right, I'll go next. So first off, I got comics. As I mentioned, we're going to review Transformers Galaxies number 12. This is cover A for number 12. This came out last week. And I also got Transformers Escape number 1. And also this is cover A, so... My shop did not get Transformers 26, which I thought also came out last week. He said they should be coming in this week, so hopefully I'll have it this week. But I don't know why. I think it was released digitally last week, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think only those two were supposed to come out last week.
Well, oh well.
It's the holidays.
Yeah.
It's, a last bit of 2020 just.
And I got one little figure. I got a Micromaster Combiner, Direct Hit and Power Punch. This little Decepticon team. And they break up into two little robots. There he is.
Which one is that?
Direct Hit, I believe. The front of the vehicle is Direct Hit and the back is Power Punch. So that's Direct Hit. Power Punch is this little guy. But there they are. Direct Hit and Power Punch. They're the two little guys. I like them. I never had these little Micromaster guys in G1 because I had stopped getting Transformers at that point. But they're fun to play with, fun to mess around with, and the combiner aspect is always fun. So there you go.
Cool.
That's all I got. So we're going to move on to Daryl.
All right. Well, I, too, got a couple comics. Got the same two comics you got, Charles, only different covers. So I got cover B for both of mine. This is the Nick Roach cover for Transformers Galaxies number 12. And it's cool. I was hoping to get the RI, but missed out on that. I also got Transformers Escape. This is cover B. This is our good friend... Winston? I just forgot his name.
Winston Chan?
Winston Chan. Yeah, Winston. I got your cover, man. So I wanted to get this one. Plus, I wanted to cut a couple of the other RIs, but I wasn't able to get any of those. But I was very happy to get Winston's cover for this one. I'm looking forward to reviewing Galaxies on this show and then Escape on an upcoming show. So we'll do that soon. I did get a couple toys. And I got to send a thanks to DJ Ronan for helping me out, because he told me that Walmart in the area had their Kingdom stuff out on kind of standees in the halls of the stores. And if I could get out there on the night that he was telling me, I was going to find that the Voyagers were pricing at the same price of the Deluxes, which is a $10 difference for each figure here in Canada. So $39.97 is the regular price, and the deluxes are $29.97. So I ran out there at like almost 8 p.m. To go out and buy Transformers. Try having that conversation with your significant other.
You're pregnant.
Yeah. So here's Optimus Primal, which I do have now, and yeah, he seems okay. He seems like a very nice looking gorilla. He's interesting enough, I guess. 22 steps transformation from gorilla to gorilla-looking robot. But I got Cyclonus, too. So Cyclonus looks fan-freaking-tastic. And I've transformed him a few times, and it is just... He's superb. He's a really cool figure, and he's big. Like, he's a tall figure. And I really like the transformation. He's very solid. Yeah, he's a very cool looking figure. You're definitely going to like this one if you're a fan of G1 figures. It's a cool figure. Yeah, he's got a lot of heft to him. And then I also picked up one little deluxe figure, because that's the only one that I really wanted. All of them were there, but I only got the one, and it's Warpath. So Cyclonus down there is Warpath there in his deluxe glory here. He's good. He's got a really cool intuitive transformation. There's a little bit of a sticking point on him that I had to work around for a bit. He's got this butt flap on him here that when you're transforming him into tank mode, you got to do certain things in certain order, or that just sticks. It just doesn't. You can't do it. The feet and leg transformation is really cool. You kind of just think, they're just going to kind of flip the legs up and everything's just kind of going to stick. And that's not what they did. There's a lot of flipping and flopping and, things moving and clips here and there to just get the feet to kind of be the way they are. So I was really impressed with that. There's one thing that I'm not super thrilled about, and it's this white paint on the figure. It's really bright, and it's really in contrast to the dark red of the figure. Now, I have G1 Warpath. I've got the Generations Warpath. This is the brightest the tank treads have ever been, I think, on a Warpath figure. The G1 figure, they were gray. I mean, this, if you want to count it, it's probably not, literally white. It's probably like a really, really light gray, but it's far too light for this figure. Secondary to that is these forearms. They just suck. The painting on them is terrible. Like, there's a peg for like the 3 mil peg for the stuff. It's just white. And you look where the fist is on there, and you can see the white all the way around the fist. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it's just when it's in tank mode, you can actually see the white around the edges there, and it's kind of dumb. Like, I honestly don't understand. Maybe it's because the tank treads are white, and that's why they wanted to use white on that. But I don't know. I mean, I'd honestly prefer them to have painted the red plastic than to use white. But they did a really shitty job on painting these forearms on this figure. And I mean, those are my only two gripes about it. I really love the transformation on him. He's really cool and fun to use. He looks fantastic in tank mode. I'm going to put some pictures up on Twitter sometime this week, and I'll put those up. But the gray or white paint on him is just terrible, and they really did a shitty job on painting the forearms. But other than that, he's awesome. He's a great figure. But that's what I got this week.
So we will end with Dr. Pants. So you weren't here for our Christmas episode, so I imagine you've got a few Christmas gifts to show off.
The funny thing is when you guys talked about that, I actually don't really get Transformers for Christmas because no one knows what to get me because my collection has a lot of crap in it already. Mm-hmm. But one of my oldest friends, who I always tell him he is the younger brother I never wanted, but I'm glad I have. He got me one thing I didn't think about. He got me the G2 Tiger Electronics game. And I haven't opened it yet, but I'm going to because I have to play this. I had all kinds of these games as a kid. I never had this one, though. So I'm really, really excited to try it out.
It will bring you seconds of fun.
Great. That's all I can ask for. He was nice enough to provide the 2 AA batteries it needs. Unfortunately, I put them in something else, but I'll show that off in a little bit.
Ooh.
The other Christmas gift was a complete surprise. I got a gift from TF Source. I won one of their 12 days of TF Sourcemas.
Fuck off.
Oh, nice.
I won Fans Projects Athena.
Wow, cool.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
I was actually really considering picking this figure up, and I put it off, and then every day I entered the contest because why not? I actually won last year, too. I won a gift card, but this year I won her, and I love it. She's a great little robot figure. The car mode looks great. The transformation is, the legs don't have enough clearance to do what they need to, but the figure itself is really, really cool. She comes with 2 faces. This one is the smiling face, which I threw on there, but she's cool articulated. The chest opens up and you can get the stats, which is cool. I'm probably in for the whole set of the Headmaster Juniors then, because I think this retails for only $60. So does the other 2, Ghost Shooter and Hosehead, I think. But yeah, I'll probably get those 2 because they'll look good as a set. That's all I got for probably not, because it's the same mold as her, and I'll probably just stick to the 3 from the Japanese show. But we'll see. I did have Nightbeat as a kid, so. But aside from that, after Christmas, my wife is big into doing thrift stores and, the Facebook Marketplace and everything. So at an indoor thrift place, I was looking in a bucket of Hot Wheels, and I found a Universe Spy Changer Prowl.
Nice.
For $1. He's really yellowed, and the paint on the siren isn't great, but I'm going to see if I can fix him up a little bit. I couldn't say no for $1. But the other thing I found, and the thing I put the AA batteries in, I found an Optimal Optimus. He's missing the arm guards, but the chrome stuff on him looks fantastic. And he was only $30. I couldn't say no.
At a thrift store?
At an indoor flea market.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a thrift store, indoor flea market. But still, like, $30, I wasn't going to say no, because he comes with everything but the arm guards I'm okay with. Unfortunately, I didn't find out till I got back the electronics don't work. He doesn't light up anymore. But I'm okay with this. I've wanted to get this back for years. I had one as a kid, and unfortunately, it disappeared at some point. So if I can ever get the arm guards, great. If not, he's back. But the last thing I got was from the Facebook Marketplace, and this is what the AA batteries really went into. I have an Energon Prime, and I got the final thing I needed to put together with him. I got Energon Omega Supreme. So now I have Optimus Supreme. And
he's a chunky boy.
Oh, he's a real chunky boy. And I've got of course all the little drones on him and everything. He's got his missiles, he's got the headmaster with him, and his electronics do in fact work. This is probably the dumbest looking thing I have in my collection, and I am so happy to have it. But
and he takes 2 AA batteries?
Yeah, it takes 2 AA batteries right here. It's the only light up is this, and it's in the arm. Yeah. But 2 AA's for that.
Can Wing Saber go on that as well? Because Wing Saber goes on the Optimus as well, right?
So I'm not sure, because there's 4 hard points for the drones, which is what they're connected to. and I don't think there's any other hard points you could put the Wing Saber pieces on.
So I don't have that, but I do have the Optimus with Wing Saber on it, and I think Wing Saber looks pretty fucking cool. So
no. If I could get a Wing Saber, I would. But really funny, really quick. The story behind this was a kid wanted the Siege Omega Supreme for Christmas. His mom didn't understand and got him this one, and he wanted nothing to do with it. So his dad put it up on Facebook Marketplace, and a few hours after it went up, I saw it, and I'm like, I'll take this. I've got something it can go with.
I always forget to check Facebook Marketplace. I go on to Kijiji, and there's nothing there anymore. But Facebook Marketplace, I got to check that more often.
All right, well, that will do it for all our trips to the store this week.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and that will do it for this episode of Transmissions. As always, we end with giving a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatrons. And this goes out to our one and only Masterpiece Donatron, John 4X Levengood. Thank you for your continued support. And we really appreciate, you just keeping sticking with us for this, for such a long time. We did get your voicemail, so we will talk about that in alt mode this week. So, look forward to that. And, we really appreciate you. Thanks. Also, we appreciate Dr. Pants for coming in and doing the guest host thing every month. So, Dr. Pants, why don't you tell everyone where they can find your stuff online?
Well, thank you, Charles, and I appreciate all of you, too. You can find me...
Suck up.
I want to stay on the show. You can find me and a couple of my friends at nerdstradamus.com, or you can just go straight to the Nerdstradamus YouTube channel, where we do a bunch of videos, mostly about video gaming and other nerdy related things. We also do some music and whatnot. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're Nerdstradamus everywhere except for Twitter, where we're Nerdstradamus DL. But we have a new podcast coming up here, or a new episode of our podcast coming out soon, where we talk about our favorite video games that we played of 2020. So if you're interested in listening to that should be up sometime a little bit after this goes up. So there you go. And thanks again for having me, guys. Always appreciate it.
All right. So we'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
I watched a movie 2 nights ago that Amazon has been pushing me to watch. I think it's just been constantly in my suggestions, called Earth Girls Are Easy. And I'm like, it's from 1988. But yeah, the movie's horrendous.
I wonder why Amazon was like, you should watch this.
You have terrible taste in movies. Watch this one. This is 2021. When we're fucking Mandalorian, we're going to talk Marvel. They're going to be upset because Spider-Man's not in the Venom movie.
Well, I'm upset too.
So am I. But we also have the education behind why it's not.
You are such a dork.
Yes, I am when it comes to this. And that's...
You cannot give me any shit about anything Star Wars.
Sure I can.
No.
Yes, I can. Hope you're not shaming Trey for the level he shot signed up at. I'm very happy with Trey. Anywho.
We've mentioned it a few times before.
If you translate the Japanese of the Twitter bio, it says this is the official account of Transformers Information Bureau by Takara Tomy.
Oh, I didn't translate that part. I just
can't read Japanese, Joe.
I'm a little rusty. So that's cool.
You just click the translate tweet button link in the bio, and English helpfully pops right up.
Man, this 2021 is starting off as a really bad year for me.
Little stiff.
Can say that again.
If only we had a sponsorship from Peacock, we could make an office joke. I'm sure Daryl's going to edit all that out.
With a silly name, because all Canadian things have silly names.
Yeah. We haven't had Value Village run in a while, Daryl.
I've gone. It's not the same. It's kind of sad. Charles almost fell asleep there. I saw you close your eyes.
I was blinking.
Slow blinks.
It's the refresh rate on your screen there is just really slow again.